Hello, and welcome. My name is MiniBetrayal, and this is Factorio Megabase. I've done a few things. So, we're now in a position where the base preparation base, for want of a better term, is done. And we're now going to, go and actually find a place to start building the mega base itself. So this should be largely left alone from here. But as I said, I've done a few things, so let's have a quick run through some of the changes I've made. It's actually been a few days, probably up to a week since I've last played this, so let's see if I can remember all the changes I've actually made. Firstly, most obviously, you can see I have concreted the base, because I could and I wanted to, so I did. Next most obvious change, I suggested I might do this at the end of the last episode, and I did. I have built proper walls around my perimeter, I guess. I still have the artillery turrets in place, so yeah, everything is fine now. I'm still getting occasional attacks because my pollution is well past that boundary, but they're not causing any issues. They get attacks like that. Occasionally they might damage something, but it's all in the logistics network, so robots are going out to repair it. Right. Secondly, I think I may have added a few extra things in on the bus. I can't remember. For example, things like pump jacks and chemical plants. I don't remember if they were there. I think I did the nuclear stuff already. What else? Over here, I have done some basic infrastructure to keep science going. So you can see there, I've got, this is just all logistics network stuff. I've got assembling machines, requesting stuff to make the science packs. Most of the stuff for this is made elsewhere in the factory, but you can see here for the purposes of the grey science packs, the military science packs, I'm also making ammunition and grenades. I've got the solar panels and accumulators up here to make the satellites, along with low density structures and rocket control units to go into the this thing, the rocket silo, to make some rockets. So we're now up to, actually, we have, whoops, what was that? I'm dropping things. Yeah, actually, still haven't made any new rockets. And this still hasn't made any parts either. Yeah, this one here is apparently quite slow. Actually, no, everything is in there. It's not making it because this is hooked up with, actually, let's go over there. Yeah, I've got a circuit network to set up so I'm not making unnecessary rocket stuff. That reminds me of stuff what that is. Oh yes, I'm only making and sending up rockets if I have no white science packs in storage, and I do up here. These are all feeding into a lab just to keep science going. So we're now up to a laser shooting speed 6. I've also queued up 7 plus energy weapons 5 and 6. I guess I could do artillery shell range. That might be a bit fun. Yeah, let's do that, and maybe by the end of the episode we'll see the range of the artillery turrets expand to include some more biter bases. But anyway, that's doing its thing. It's not a particularly fast research, but we're doing it. Okay, so one of the ways the Factorio map is built is the further you get away from the center, the more rich resource patches you will find. So, for example, let me find. So, yeah, we started around here-ish. I think this may be our center. I'm not sure. We started around here-ish. Yeah, no, this up here would have been our first lake because one of these, I think, would have been our first power things. So this coal deposit here, 6.7 million, about the same distance on the other side, 4.5 million. If we go further out, 54 million. And the same thing with oil. So we've got 23,000% oil up there. 82 million iron. So megabases require a lot of materials, so I want to go a little further afield. So I'm just going to do a little bit of exploring to start off. I'm just going to pick a direction and go. I don't know how far I'll go, but obviously I want to be reasonably far away from this so it's not going to interfere. I should take some weapons with me. Nothing fantastic. Oops, no, it's down here. That's where I want to be. Let me just take a stack of grenades. I've got my legs, I've got my personal laser defense, got some ammunition, and I have some atomic bombs as well. Just to keep things in the safe side, I've put those in a different slot to the things that are actually firing them. Let me take a couple more stacks of these though, because I don't know exactly how many I want, and I do not want them there just yet. At least not until I'm outside the factory. Okay, so apparently I am going east. So let me just go in this direction for a bit, and we'll see if we can find a good place to start. Alrighty then, so I've done a little bit more exploring, and I had a bit of a think about what I want to do. I found some interesting places, like there's down here, they've got lots of iron and copper. Well, actually, that's not quite so much copper. Lots of iron there. There was one place I found iron next to copper. It might have been down here a bit. Yeah, 84 million next to 63 million, and plus some supplementary copper over there. I might do some circuits down there. But anyway, I think the first thing I want to look at is power. So a megabase will obviously take a lot of power. So I think I'm at least going to start with nuclear power. If it becomes a real drain on UPS, which is certainly less of an issue now than it used to be, then I can maybe start thinking about solar. But I have found a uranium deposit here next to a big lake. Of course, you need water for power. So I think what we're going to do... Now, well, firstly, the uranium needs sulfuric acid in order to mine it. And we're not in a position to make sulfuric acid megabase style just yet. So I think what I'm going to do is set up a train line that will go from my starter base, where I have some... I've got a little bit of sulfuric acid set up, but it doesn't take a huge amount. We're not getting that much uranium anyway. So yeah, I'll get a train set up that just takes some sulfuric acid from there over to the uranium. And then the uranium I don't think we need anything other than uranium and a little bit of iron in order to make the the nuclear fuel. And then I'll build some landfill like pontoons out onto this lake here, where we can get some nuclear power set up. So, I guess the train line is the first thing to do there. But I've got nothing on me, so let's head back to base and I'll blow up a few more biters along the way. Okay, first little bit set up. We have a train line that goes from the sulfuric acid creation bit. Yeah, simple there. It's only filled by coal, nothing special, and it's just pumped straight in. The schedule is nice and simple. It goes there until it's full of sulfuric acid, then it comes to the uranium deposit until it's empty of sulfuric acid. So it comes over here. It will pump its sulfuric acid into these miners, which will then mine it, and then they will bring it along to here. These will process it into uranium-238 and uranium-235 and put it on this belt, which will then split it. There's a little bit of Curvex going on here. I don't even think I need it for this. I'm doing it anyway. It's mostly just because I don't need any 238 over here. It may as well all be 235. And then together with a little bit of iron that comes from over here, that is made into the uranium fuel cells, nuclear fuel. Wait, is nuclear fuel? Yeah, okay, nuclear fuel is different to uranium fuel cell. My mistake. Anyway, it's made into uranium fuel cells, which then get put onto this belt here. Meanwhile, coming back on this belt here will be empty uranium fuel cells, or rather used up uranium fuel cells, which can then get turned back into the 238, which can then go back into the Curvex. So in theory, all I need to do to turn this on is that. And that much should start working. Now, at the moment, it's also getting its power from the main base. It's not at all neat. I've just plugged that in. As soon as... I'm also missing some pipes. I missed that. Oh, I've got an iron deposit right here. Yoink. What am I missing? 8 underground pipes. And 6 of these guys. I'm going to have to go back to the base for the stack inserters. Alright, bear with me. Okay, here we are. There... Wait, what's going on there? Oh, a little bit of a power issue as the lasers were firing somewhere, no doubt. Yep. Anyway, yeah, they all kick into action. And then over here, it gets processed into... Eventually. I've forgotten how slow this process was. Yeah, I think I've got speed modules in the other one. Having power issues. Luckily, we're working on power. Okay, that gets made into some 238. It'll take a little while for this to back up because I have prioritized the fuel cells. Okay, so that side is backed up, so there you go. Things should start feeding into the Coverix process, and luckily this won't take so long because I kind of cheated and already primed these with full stacks of 235. So we should start getting some outputs fairly quickly from these, assuming the power doesn't do that. And yeah, then we can start making some fuel cells. We'll just watch it until I think we make at least the first batch of fuel cells, just to make sure that that's working. And there we go. There is the first batch of nuclear fuel cells. So they come over here, uranium fuel cells rather. They come over here, and at the moment, nothing. Because I haven't yet built my reactors. So I need to hop back to base, grab a massive heap of landfill and some actual reactor stuff, and then come back and build that. So, let's do that thing. Okay, so I've managed to get this far before I ran out of steam turbines and landfill. But I do have what should be at least one functioning nuclear reactor, or 4 functioning nuclear reactors, I guess. And in fact, most of this one is switched on as well, actually. So all I really need to do to get this working is plug it into the main power grid. Which I can nearly do just by stretching across there, actually. Yeah, if I can... yeah, I've been a little bit tight with my landfill, but I've already spent it all. Damn. Tell you what, it's a little bit cheeky, but... I do something like this, I should be able to squeeze one of these in there. There we go. Okay, so I'll plug this in and then I'll show you how it works. And there we go. Okay, so in fact I should throw... Have I got stuff for a radar? Yeah, I'll throw a radar down here as well so I can monitor it remotely. There we go. Okay, so the nuclear fuel cells, they come in on this line here, and which gets split to these 2 inputs to go into those 2 nuclear reactors, and continues around here down the bottom, where it gets split again to go to those 2 nuclear reactors on the right, and continue on to the next batch. Meanwhile, the outputs of each of these, this one outputs onto there, that one outputs onto there, This one here outputs there, as does this one. They just get put onto this belt, which comes backwards along the top. There, like that. And this should then just be a belt of empty fuel cells. So I guess we should hang around and wait to test it, but you know, I'm fairly confident. So they'll come back this way, where they'll go back to the nuclear, or to the uranium processing area over here, into this guy, where they'll get turned back into 238. Okay, so I've got a little bit more building to do. Let me hop back to main base and pick up a bit more stuff. Okay, so I've got as much as I'm willing to get, but the steam turbines are taking a bit of an age to make at the moment. So I think I'm pretty much going to leave this episode here. So have we done Megabase stuff? Not strictly speaking, I guess. I mean, I've started putting down a lot of power stuff that we're certainly going to use. But, you know, of course, power's the first thing you need, right? So, excuse me. Let's hop out and just run across. Yeah, so not a lot more to say, really. I mean, just looking at this, you know, we're producing far more power than we actually need now. Yeah, you can see that's where the steam turbines started taking over from the steam engines. And we've still got a bunch more of these to place down. A few more down here. Okay, tell you what, let's tear up those ones. Okay, let's at least get some down that, you know, make a difference. Not that one. Not that one. All the ones down there? No, let's sort of start at the bottom and work up. So how many have I got on me? I have, where are they? Just the one on me. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. So if I tear off 8 and 1 there, that should be enough to fill up the bottom section at least. Yeah. And that's all of them. Okay. So yeah, I'll finish placing down this landfill. I'll just have to wait for the I've got some fish as well. Yeah, I'm just going to have to wait for the steam turbines to finish being built. Next episode, we'll move on with... yeah, we'll see if we can get a bit of production going. Maybe some circuits or something. But I'll leave it there for now. In the meantime, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.